Good evening, Lutes, and welcome to News at 9. I'm Devere Dudley, and here's a quick look at our top stories. Students go around campus and ask fellow Lutes to explain what a Lute is to them. And on the agenda, we get an inside look at Saxifrage with Jacob Mayer. In Sports Talk, we explore a day in the life of Lance Lute. All that and more next on News at 9. Changing little things can really have an impact here at PLU. Throughout the last few years, the trays in the Commons have been a major issue. Austin Hilliker has a quick reminder for us all.
The Commons, in the Anderson University Center at Pacific Lutheran University. Despite this being a great place for you and your friends to eat, there's still one problem. People are forgetting to put away their trays.
For all of us that work at the Commons, it's really helpful when people put their trays away and take care of their own dishes.
Fix this problem by bringing your dishes here, the dish return station. Put them away in these specific slots, and together, we can clean up the Commons.
A Lute can be many things. Here at PLU, the definition of a Lute is, of course, a PLU student. Recently, the school's mascot, Lance Lute, underwent a costume change, and this was the perfect opportunity to explore what being a Lute means to the PLU students.
Pacific Lutheran University has a long history of sportsmanship and athletics over the last 125 years. During these years, few things have changed. Students may come and go, but the Lutes and their spirit has stayed. We set out to see what current students at PLU know about our historic mascot and what it means to be a Lute to them today.
What is a Lute? This right here is, I guess, is the best example I got for you.
What's a lute? This is a lute. It's a small guitar. And see, plays guitar.
Lute's someone who cares about the other students here and wants to see PLU become like the best it can be.
Okay, so what's a lute to you guys?
Someone who goes to PLU.
Okay. And do you know the name of our mascot?
No. The knight.
The knight?
It's a lance. Lance a lute.
Oh, see.
No,
You're close.
clearly not.
Close.
Mascot is a lute.
And what is a lute to you?
It's a knight.
Lute is the symbol of the greatest school of all time. That's what's up.
So we decided to develop a new mascot because our old one was not very approachable, and we didn't feel like when people saw it, they identified it with PLU. It wasn't branded or anything like that. So we wanted to create something that would be more fan-friendly and would really engage the crowd or visitors on campus, and something that we can utilize at athletic events, but also at other university events across campus. You see it walking by and you know, you want to give it a high five or say hi or take a picture. Definitely kind of running the mascot through the UC, there's not one time where somebody hasn't stopped to be like, I want to take a picture or like give it a high five or a hug or whatnot.
So. A lute is an instrument from the Scandinavian countries.
A lute is a knight.
Fellow students, it's a knight.
Someone who attends PLU. It's also an instrument.
I think a Lute is the ultimate fan and the ultimate athlete at PLU and all around a good person. You know, they always give it their best.
A Lute is a Pacific Lutheran student and a family member to the Lute family, and we're just all around good people.
We see it on stands every Friday, but how's the mooring mast brought there? Here's a short clip of the Wednesday night process on making PLU's own mooring mast.
Let's see if I can.
So, oh. Okay, so this make muffins? Yeah. Okay. So, in the morning, I'm
The very first one, and like had to
You have to upload them one at a time. You can't do it all at once.
The Morin Mast is currently looking for a new editor-in-chief for next semester. To apply, contact the Mast at mast@plu.edu. The other student media outlets are looking for leaders for next year as well. To learn more about student media in general, you can like the Morin Mast and Mast TV's Facebook pages or send your questions to mast@plu.edu. In local news, just 2 more organizations have joined the voices calling for justice for Antonio Zambrano Montes. The 35-year-old migrant worker was fatally shot by police officers in Pasco, Washington in February. He was unarmed, but was accused of pelting police with rocks. Representatives from a Hispanic student organization and the Washington Dream Act Coalition have teamed up with the Zambrano Montes family. The groups announced Monday they're planning a mass march for justice this Saturday. They said it's a way to broaden the efforts already going on in the community and to take a strength in numbers approach to make a point. The Zambrano Montes family hopes the movement for justice does not die down. In national news, Walgreens says it will close 200 stores in the U.S. Plans are still being finalized, and the company did not reveal a time frame for the closures. The chain has more than 8,000 stores spread across the country. It recently purchased a chain of European drugstores for $5.3 billion and a chain of drugstores for $1.1 billion. It's also changed its name to Walgreens Boots Alliance. The company says it is trying to reduce expenses by $1.5 billion over the next 3 years. If you're a Taco Bell fiend, you may soon be able to get your fix brought directly to your door. The fast food chain CEO has big plans, including home delivery and catering. Brian Nichol told Nation's Restaurant News that Taco Bell would be trying out some form of delivery in 2015. He says it's the #1 request from customers, but logistics are still being hashed out. Taco Bell is also considering an expansion into catering. It's currently being tested in Houston, and Nichols says they will expand to a few more markets in time for football season. Those aren't the only ideas in the works. Taco Bell will roll out a new loyalty program, an online ordering system, and is working on ways to be more environmentally friendly. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Up next is Jenny Boots with On the Agenda.
You talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To not look the other way. It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us.
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hello, Lutz. Welcome to On the Agenda. I'm Jenny Boots. After a beautiful day like today, it's easy to feel the renewed spring love. Flowers, energy, good vibes, all in bloom across campus. But with the coming of spring means the coming of prospective students. Across the country, universities and colleges are welcoming newly admitted students to campus, and PLU is no exception. With campus preview days like Loot Life happening nearly once a week and prospective student overnights, PLU has been stretched to capacity. Here today to talk with us about the upcoming Loot Overnight and what to do with your prospective student, if you have one staying, is Admission Ambassador Isabella Von Trapp. Isabella, welcome.
Thank you.
So Loot Overnight was once Passport Weekend, or that's how we kind of know it more generally here.
Right.
So what's the difference?
Well, for one, they changed the name. Second,
Loot Overnight, aka Passport Weekend, used to be on a Friday, Saturday, but this year they changed it to a Thursday, Friday, and a Sunday, Monday, because students felt like they weren't getting like a genuine college experience, so they wanted to change it. So now they have the students attending classes with students in them, which is kind of fun. Another difference this year is rather than just giving people t-shirts, they're having people who are hosting their prospective students walk them down to the bookstore where they get this like goodie bag with a bunch of stuff in it, so that's kind of fun.
That is fun.
Yeah, there's a few other smaller changes, but those are the main ones.
Yeah, nice. So what events can students go to, or what should we like expect as a campus?
Right, so it's gonna be busy. On Sunday at like 5, I think, is when check-in is. And for the parents that come with, they're having a wine, beer, and cheese reception.
Oh, ooh.
That's a new thing this year, too. And then for the students, they'll, of course, go get their little goodie bags from Garfield's. And then in the between time, they have like a 3-hour time period where they can eat dinner. There's a room expo that they can check out if they want to see what the different residence halls look like. Yeah, cool. The Clay Crows will be performing. And I think there's some other like student performances that they can go check out if they so desire.
Cool. How many students do you know are we expecting on campus?
A lot. There's like 140 or something.
Oh, wow.
Or more than last time.
Yeah,
I actually just made that number up, but there's a lot more than last time.
Wow,
like, no kidding. Stretched to the capacity.
So what do you recommend? So if you're hosting a prospective student and you have a couple staying in your dorm room, what should you do with them?
I think definitely whatever they want to do, because I mean at this point we all kind of know what life is like on campus, but this is like their one opportunity to explore campus and kind of see what they're interested in. So if they have one thing in particular that they really want to go to, you could just take one for the team, go with them, even if it's not your first choice. Everything will be fun. So you really can't go wrong.
Awesome. What are you most looking forward to?
Oh, definitely the Clay Crows. They're always on point. So
yeah, they're super fun.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Isabella, thank you.
Thank you.
And Lutz, be sure to smile and hold open some doors and welcome these prospective students to campus. So, as we shift gears a little bit, last week I introduced the first of our Spotlight on Student Media series. Last week we learned a little bit more about the student radio station, Laser, which, shout out to Isabella. She actually has a show on Tuesday nights called Moon Snail. Check it out. But tonight, let's take a peek into our own campus literary magazine, Saxifrage.
So I am one of the co-editors of Saxifrage this year. Saxifrage is a 41-year-old student-run literary arts journal. So anything from poetry and prose to musical compositions, visual art, basically anything creative can be submitted to us. And we publish a book at the end of every year, so a print book, and then we have a big release party at the end just to show off, all the wonderful creative work that PLU students do. Saxifrage is one of the, I think is one of the longest running in Washington, if not the West Coast, and it's very well respected in that the book itself looks very good every year, and the quality of the submissions also are very good. So students should be involved, just like at the very basic, just because it's a pretty well-respected institution. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's, it's a good way to engage your intellectual side in a creative way rather than a academic way. So we put on open mics, so students can come and read their work, or they can come sing some songs. Just some smaller events too, just like hangouts where we get a bunch of people together and we do writing prompts or art prompts, stuff like that. We just all, create stuff together. Saxifrage is actually one of the reasons that I came to PLU, because when I visited, I picked up a copy of the book and I read it and I loved it. I thought there was some of the best writing that I've read, especially just by people my age or just a little bit older than me. And I thought, this is really cool and I want to be a part of it.
So Lutz, if you or someone you know is interested in participating in student media, there will be an interest carnival held in the Lower UC this Sunday night beginning at 7 p.m. So be sure to bring your friends or yourself. Tomorrow is also the premiere of the annual Dance Ensemble performance. Tickets are $3 and available for purchase at the concierge desk. And the performance begins at 7:30 in the Karen Hilly Phillips Center for the Performing Arts. So be sure to get out and support your Lutz. So have a great weekend. And now to sports with Austin after this commercial break.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hi, Lutes, and welcome back. I'm Austin Hilliker with this week's edition of Sports Talk. Since our last show, it's been quite an eventful week. Many of our sports teams performed quite well, boosting us a few wins past our mark of 125 that was reached last week by our baseball team. Diving right into it, our softball team had quite the week. Last Saturday, the Lutes squared off against Willamette and unfortunately took a tumble. Both games ended early to a complete and utter domination by the Bearcats as the 8-run rule took effect in both games. The Lutes only managed to grab 4 hits in the first game, in addition to a struggle to keeping the Willamette hitters from crossing home plate. Marissa Miller took the loss on the day, leaving her with a season record of 6-6. Game 2 for the Lutes is a little bit better as they swung for the fences, but it still wasn't good enough. The Lutes tallied 7 runs on 11 hits, but it was nothing compared to Willamette's 15 runs on 18 hits. During the game, sophomore Emily McConnell hit a grand slam, while first-year Michaela Bentz surrendered only 1 hit to the Bearcats during her showing. Things went a little better for the Lutes this last Wednesday, though. 2 makeup games were played as Willamette came to PLU to play on our home turf. The Lutes won both games with a score of 4-3 and then 7-6. In the first game, the Lutes struggled, but at the end, the bases were loaded, and sophomore Amanda Hartley saw 4 pitches go out of the strike zone, thus bringing home the game-winning run. In Game 2, first-year Ellie Rosbach hit a walk-off single, allowing first-year Christy Snyder to cross home plate with ease, getting the win for the Lutes. The Lutes play Pacific this Saturday, April 11th at 12 and 2 p.m. Moving on to golf, our men's team took 6th place in the Olympic College Invitational in Bremerton. The top Lute performer was first-year Mitchell Baldridge, as he finished 13th overall. Baldridge shot a 77 and then a 75, giving him a total of 152 and 8 over par. The next tournament will take place April 11th at Olympia Country and Golf Club for the Spring Classic. Transitioning to our women's golf team, they took a top 5 finish in the Whitman Easter Classic in Walla Walla, Washington. The Lutes finished 5th overall as their top performer was sophomore Desiree Hasselwood. She hit an 84 and then an 81, giving her a total of 165 and 21 over par. The Lady Lutes will be back on the fairway April 11th for the Northwest Conference Spring Classic at Lake Spanaway Golf Course. But don't forget about our tennis teams. The men snapped a 7-match losing streak this last Saturday as they took out UPS 6-3. Amongst the men, top performers included senior Noel Oteng Mensah and junior Jeremy Marsh as they participated in their doubles match, winning 8-4. Not long after that, sophomore James Okabu and senior Chris Urkula won their doubles match. The Lutes' next match will be at home against the Wildcats at 1 p.m. Our women's tennis team extended their winning streak as they cut down the Loggers with a score of 9-0 this last Saturday. Our very own junior Samantha Lund teamed up with first-year Caroline Dreer and won the first doubles match 8-4. Senior Allison McClure and sophomore Megan Byers matched that score, winning their doubles match as well. The pattern kept on as sophomore Emily Bower and sophomore Emily Beamster Bower won their doubles match as well. The Lutes' next match will be at Linfield 1 p.m. on April 11th. Our men's and women's track team also were quite dominant. The men took a 3rd-place finish in the Shotwell Invitational as senior Tavon Stevens-Brown led the way with a 1st-place finish in the shot put with a throw of 50 feet 6 inches and a 2nd-place finish in the discus with 140 feet 11 inches. Another top performer for the men was Lucas Hatton as he took 2nd place in the discus with a throw of 47 feet 7 1/4 inches. For the women, it was a team effort. They took a 6th overall at the meet, but first in the 4x100 meter relay. Senior Taryn D, sophomore Nicole Dandridge, first-year Michaela Grady, and junior Amanda Wilson brought home the 1st-place finish in the race. The Lutes' next meet will be in Forest Grove, Oregon for the Pacific Luau meet. As you might have noticed, we didn't get a chance to talk about baseball this time. Unfortunately, no games were played this week, but there is a game coming up. The Lutes will take on UPS for a doubleheader this Saturday, April 11th at 12 and 3 p.m. Before we let you off the hook, though, we have a special presentation. If you haven't already noticed, we have a new and improved mascot this year. Many people have been wondering what exactly Lance Lute does during the day. A few PLU students got together and found out. Take a look. It's pretty funny. That's what I said too. That is all we have for you tonight, Lutes. You can find more information at our website at massmedia.plu.edu. For all of us at the studio and at News at 9, thank you and good night. What? I said, studio and News at 9.